Okay, hello everybody. My name's Jameson. I'm sitting here with Jameson Young. This is our
Hello.
YouTube channel, Self-Conflicted. Today we have to talk about this new college study. It's where half of young Americans say college is too expensive and no longer necessary. With rising tuition costs, some aren't going to college and more are working jobs on the side. More students are looking at online courses, doing classes at community college, or going to trade school. This is a Market Watch survey and also a TD Ameritrade survey. About 1 in 5 Generation Z and young millennials say they may not choose to go to college. Generation Z is becoming more open to doing college differently or not going at all, according to the TD Ameritrade study. This was taken by 3,000 U.S. teens and young adults. Many others see a less conventional path through education as a good idea. Over 30% of Generation Z and 18% of young millennials said they have considered taking a gap year between high school and college. What's more, 89% of Generation Z, along with 79% of young millennials, have considered an education path that looks different than your average four-year degree directly out of high school. More students are looking at online courses, community college, or trade school. Well, although I'm fine with the whole trade school and all that stuff, I think it might be like a little bit concerning that some kids are thinking about like not even going to college, and I think that it's probably still a good idea to at least get some college on your resume or something, right? I mean, I think largely they're right. I mean, the thing with these general degrees is you don't, or I should say, the biggest thing, the thing about college was it was supposed to teach you things that you otherwise could not learn. The internet's largely replaced that these days. I mean, you can almost learn most everything as far as when you're talking about just a regular general degree. You can learn almost everything online. So why do you have to pay $100,000 to go to some school to learn it? The other and this isn't just true with general degrees. This is how it's like even in trade school. When I went to trade school, there was like three groups of people. There was like the people who worked out in the real world, and they were the only ones who really knew what they were doing. There were those of us who had no experience. And even like towards the end of trade school, after 2 years, we still barely knew what we were doing. Then there was this another group of people, they'd come in, they'd push all the buttons on the CNC machines, and then, I'd be like, gee, do you have a job in a machine shop? And they're like, nah, I just watched it on YouTube. So even in trade school, you still can learn most of what you need just by watching YouTube or internet. Just getting experience? Sometimes you need to go to school to get experience in that job. How much experience? Well, how much experience do you actually get in a college classroom is the thing. Right off the bat, this isn't even a conspiracy theory. It is true. A lot of the general degrees that you have to take going through college, it's been kind of proven that they just tack those on so the colleges can make more money. It's not to give you, it's not to make you better or more experience. You don't learn anything as far as in a lot of those general degrees. I think most things you should just have to be tested out of, like when you do math. Like at the beginning of college, you have to take a math test, and it shows your placing. And if you're really good, you can go straight into a higher level of math. And if you're super good, you can just skip over all math classes. I think that's how like most classes in college, especially four-year colleges, don't you think that this helps them get you more well-rounded, be a better, more well-rounded person? No, it does not make you more well-rounded. I mean, half these things are just brainwashing centers. Like my history teacher, man, he must have covered all of World War II history in about like 10 minutes, and I can sum up what he said to me in about 10 seconds. He said the Germans weren't that bad. The Japanese were really loving human beings. The real bad guys in World War II were the imperialist United States of America. That's literally what some of these college professors do. They just use their classes to teach their screwed up uber left points of view. So yeah, that doesn't make you more well-rounded. I don't understand how that's going to make you more well-rounded. And like most anybody will tell you who's been to college, 90% of it is not about educating you or teaching you or enlightening you in any way. 90% of college is just a piece of paper to tell an employee that you're willing to put up with a lot of stupid crap. Okay. Okay, on to the second part of this read, the burden of student debt. The average borrower now leaves college with around $37,000 in loan debt, up more than $10,000 from 10 years ago. An outstanding student debt owed by all borrowers reached 1.5 trillion in 2018, nearly 3 times higher than the 600 billion a year or a decade earlier. Is a college degree necessary? Well, 96% of parents still believe so, according to the TD Ameritrade study. They said that they do expect their kids to go to college, but a lot of young Americans don't think a 4-year degree is essential. I could either pay money to get no real-world experience or get paid money to get real-world experience, someone said. So with this whole problem with student debt, I mean, this is a lot what like the politicians are talking about. Do you think that they should help like $37,000? That's a pretty good chunk to start your young life out with. Do you think that that they should be helping out with those kids? I don't know exactly what I want to say. The student debt. I mean, that's those kids' problem. I mean, if you buy a rundown house for 10 times the value, I don't think you can blame the guy who sold the house to you. That's the dumb person who paid it. Same thing, if you get some liberal college degree or some general college degree and you pay $100,000, well, that's on you. What about the politicians offering free college? What do you think about those? My position on a free college, I don't know what Bernie Sanders or Pocahontas is talking about. There's already a program in all of the United States for every single kid in America to go to college for free. It's called Shut Your Mouth and Know Your Place in a U.S. military uniform, and your GI Bill will cover you. So I don't know what they're talking about. The program that's already in place for free college works just fine. It's how I got my college degree. It's how the greatest generation got their college degrees. So if it was great enough for the greatest, I don't know why it's not great enough for Bernie or Elizabeth Warren's voters. Well, okay. I guess it's good we got our on-hand expert Jameson here to tell us all this stuff. Anyway, this was just a quick article I seen. I thought I wanted to talk about. Thanks. This is our YouTube channel, Self-Conflicted. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you. Bye.